All right, we are back here on Titans Talk. Phone lines open tonight, 737-7767, as they always are. If you'd like to join in on the program, let your voice be heard after a frustrating day at Nissan Stadium. About 12,000, 13,000 people there, kind of the most that you can get into one of these NFL stadiums right now. They tried to make their voice heard in the second half of that game. Unfortunately, some of the Browns fans that found their way in got to cheer the most because of their team coming on the road and getting a big victory at Nissan Stadium. Now the Titans have to finish with 3 of their final 4 on the road. Again, phone lines open, 737-7767. But let's get into some of the highlights from Sunday's game against the Browns. And we start in the first quarter. Rashard Higgins finding space and then running after the catch. That was a problem in the first half for the Titans defense that would lead to a field goal. Here come the Titans on the ensuing drive. They go for it on 4th and 1. Looked like Derrick Henry got it. Mike Vrabel challenges after a bad spot. He's shaking his head because he doesn't win that challenge. I think it was a bad review. But the Browns capitalize. Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry back in the end zone, and it's 10-0 early. Very next possession, first play, Derrick Henry does something he hasn't done in over 365 days. Coughs up the football. Browns recover and they cash in. First play of the second quarter. Oh, it's the tackle-eligible play. Usually it's the Titans doing that. This time it's the Browns. Kendall Lamb, the big fella, with the TD, and it is 17-0 Cleveland. Titans are like, all right, now we got to get going here. Over the top, A.J. Brown, what a grab. That is 43 yards into the red zone in just 2 plays. Then 1 play later, Corey Davis, strong hands, touchdown. That's a 4-play, 74-yard drive, Titans on the board. But very next play from scrimmage, Browns take a shot. Breon Borders bites hard on the double move, and Donovan Peoples-Jones is gone. 75 yards, and it's 24-7. At that point, the Titans kind of melted down here. Lots of penalties, miscues. There's Hollywood Higgins on the perfect ball from Mayfield. His 4th touchdown pass of the first half, tying Otto Graham for the most in franchise history. Otto Graham played in 1951. Nick Chubb then over the top, and it is 38-7 Cleveland at the half. Those 38 points tied the franchise record. It looked like it was absolutely over. Like I said earlier, some people said, Titans, pull your starters, get the important guys out, and just move on to next week because this game is done. Credit to them, though. They stuck with it. Let's take a look at the second half because here they come right out of the gate. Corey Davis, big gainer. That's going to go for 43 yards. 2 plays later, it's not your Cole. It's not our Cole. It's my Cole Pruitt into the end zone. It's 38-14. Next possession. A.J. Brown trying to get the goal line. He fumbles, but guess who's there? It's Pruitt for his 2nd touchdown of the quarter. All of a sudden, it's a 38-21 game. But now Nick Chubb, biggest run of the day, 29 yards, bursting into the open field. Titans did a great job on him, but that one big play leads to a field goal. The only points of the second half for the Browns. Titans still not done. 4th down and 4. Cam Batson, what a catch on the sideline. Initially ruled incomplete, but clearly on replay, he got it. This time, the Titans win the challenge, keep possession, but very next play, Adam Humphries can't catch it, and it is intercepted by M.J. Stewart. In a lot of ways, that was the end for the Titans when they could have gotten a drive for a touchdown right there before the 4th quarter. Instead, they score late to get to 41-28, and then Baker Mayfield loses the football trying to run out the clock. Kenny Vaccaro's going to run it back. 53 yards all the way down to the 13. Titans still with life in the final minute. 4th down here, got to get it. And it's Batson again going up 2 feet down. Great catch. Titans within 41-35 with 28 seconds left. Now you got to get the onside kick, but the Browns are able to recover it and hang on. 41-35, the fantastic rally comes up just short. Baker Mayfield, the monster day with the 4 touchdowns in the first half. Ryan Tannehill throws for 389 and 3 scores. Corey Davis, career highs of 11 catches and 182 yards. Pruitt had the 2 touchdowns in the second half, but it is the Browns that get to 9 and 3, kind of proved just how good maybe they are this year. Not a lot of people were believing before Sunday, but that was a performance that turned some heads. And for the Titans, it puts them right back in the thick of things in the AFC South, now tied with the Colts at 8-4. Time now to get into the Xfinity keys to the game. As always, we're joined on the Electric Power Company Sunday Sports Central with Jonathan Hutton of Titans Radio, our analyst, to break down this game. A disappointing start and a disappointing loss for the Titans against the Browns. Time now for the Xfinity keys to the game. We bring in our analyst, Jonathan Hutton of Titans Radio, from his home studio tonight. Jonathan, we knew the Browns would be amped for this one. This was a big game for that team, and they came out ready. But the Titans were out-coached, out-executed, and frankly lost their composure in the first half of this one.
It was an awful start. And the bad start, which is an understatement, continues a trend for this team. They're 5-1 when they lead at the half. They're 2-3 when they trail after 2 quarters. Fast starts and offensive momentum is just critical because it sets up their formula for Derrick Henry. Henry's 3 lowest carry totals of the season are all losses. His 7 highest totals, all wins. And the Titans' first half performance took away their best weapon. The defense was terrible. The turnovers were crippling. And you're right, they lost their composure on some critical penalties.
Yeah, we came in talking about the top 2 rushing attacks in the NFL, but this was really about the quarterbacks and a completely different Baker Mayfield than we're used to seeing in total command with those 4 touchdowns in the first half.
What a surprise. He had thrown 2 touchdowns in his previous 4 games, and he had 4 touchdowns in the first 2 quarters of this game. They came out throwing. The play action was working well. On first down, he was 7 for 10, 153 yards and a touchdown. Third down, the woes continue. 5 for 5 for 40 yards and a score. His 12 biggest first half plays gained 253 yards. He scored twice on those 12 plays. He did some big damage against this Titans secondary.
And when an offense is rolling like that, you have to take advantage of your chances. But this Titans third down defense, the woes resurfaced today with Cleveland converting 10 of 16.
Yeah, 7 of 8 on third down in the first half. 8 of 11 through 3 quarters. And this is the part that's crippling for this Titans defense. They had opportunities to get off the field. A great example, they're trying to pull this comeback in the third quarter. Baker Mayfield flagged for intentional grounding, loss of down, 3rd and 12. They give up the first down on a pass to Austin Hooper. Examples like that are why this Titans defense is giving up the yards and the points that they were today. Until they can find a pass rush, we will continue to say that, and until they get speed back in their secondary, they are missing Adoree Jackson a lot.
Yeah, the only good news is the Titans are now done against the AFC North after going 1-3 against that division. They're 7-1 against everybody else. That is the good news. For whatever reason, the AFC North has been just a bugaboo for the Titans this year, as we mentioned. In the 3 losses, all of them down by double digits in the first half. Just couldn't get the offense off the mat. The defense struggled, and you try to rally back. And I don't care who you're playing in the NFL. When you're down by double digits at any point in the game, it is difficult to come back. And for the Titans, while their offense has shown explosiveness and 35 points in the first half in Indianapolis 2 weeks ago, 28 points in the second half on Sunday against the Browns, the way this offense works best is when Derrick Henry is running the football, and you work off of that. It's what it was in the first half in Indianapolis. It is run, play action pass, big shot, run, play action pass, take a shot, run, so on and so forth. On Sunday, there just wasn't much for Derrick Henry there, and it wasn't because he wasn't effective. He didn't have a great game, but he still ran the ball. The problem is when you're down 38-7, you can't really run the ball. Give them credit for running as much as they did in the second half, but you have to throw the football. It has to be about throwing the football at that point of the game. And that's not their best game. A.J. Brown and Corey Davis are really good, and they have played very well this year, but you don't want to just get back into shot. This isn't the run and shoot. Ryan Tannehill isn't Warren Moon and Ernest Givens and Joyner and all those guys. They're not coming back. You don't want to just line up in the run and shoot and try and throw it around the field, because that's not what the Titans are built for. And when you get down like that, all of a sudden you're playing out of what you want to do, and that is a problem. Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill went to the podium after the game, and he expressed a lot of the frustrations and talked about what this team needs to do. Let's hear from the quarterback now, Ryan Tannehill, after the game at the podium on Zoom after the Titans' 41-35 loss to the Browns.
Hey, Ryan, as a leader of this team, when you come off of two impressive wins like you had coming into this one, and then you see it kind of drift away like it did in the first half, what is your job in terms of making sure in the future you can keep going when you win games and that you don't maybe follow up a success with something disappointing like this?
We have to come out and start games with a sense of urgency. I think we did in practice. We practiced with some urgency this week. I didn't feel like there was a relaxation or anything in practice. But at the end of the day, on Sunday, when the ball's kicked off, we have to be ready to go, and it can't come out slow and put ourselves in a hole like that. So just a matter of approaching every Sunday in itself and coming out with a sense of urgency.
Corey?
Ryan, it would have been easy for you guys to pack in it at halftime, and you put on a baseball cap for the second half in this one. How important, despite the loss, to come out and make it respectable there at the end?
Well, this team's full of fighters. I mean, that's not characteristic of the way we play and the way we fight and believe in ourselves. And we've been in some holes before, never like that, but and being able to fight back. And really we had an opportunity there to cut it to a 2-score game heading into the fourth quarter. And we've been in that situation before and been able to come out with a win. So, we still felt like if we took care of our opportunity and took advantage of it, then, who knows what can happen. Defense gets a stop, a turnover, and as long as we're scoring, chipping away at it, who knows what can happen. So that was our mindset going out there, just battle one drive at a time and try to find a way to score each drive and see what happens from there.
Terry?
Ryan, at what point today did you kind of have to just scrap the original game plan and just kind of start chucking it around? It seemed like that, most of what happened in the second half was just drives where, you had to pick it up and throw it every play and all along.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're down huge. I'm not sure exactly what the score was at that point, but I think it was 31-point lead or something like that. So, not the situation you want to be in. And at that point, you need to score, and you need to score fast, and every time you touch it. So, obviously, I had to make some adjustments there.
John Glennon?
Hey, Ryan, I know one of the trademarks for the offense this year has been to limit turnovers. How surprising, unlikely was it to see the ball on the ground so many times today, and how big an impact did that have on the game?
Yeah, it's definitely not the way we like to play. I think we pride ourselves on taking care of the football, and we didn't do that. We weren't clean enough today. Starting off with the fumble early, they were clicking on offense, they were rolling. We really needed to get something going there, and give them the short field. Didn't help. You pair that with, like I mentioned, going into the fourth quarter there, an opportunity to go up, or not go up, but make it a 2-score game there at the start of the fourth quarter, and you're in that ball game. And we weren't able to finish that drive, ended up turning it over down there. So, we got to be cleaner, have to take care of the football. And, we like to feast on those situations whenever teams give us the ball. And today it was the opposite.
David?
Ryan, when you come out after halftime and Michael Pruitt, who's, not Derrick Henry, not A.J. Brown, for example, scores 2 touchdowns in about 5 minutes there, the second on a good bounce, does that add to the sense that, hey, something is possible here?
Yeah, we just needed to score. And it doesn't really matter who scores or how it gets done, but we needed to score. We were able to get those scores pretty quick and keep ourselves in the game a little bit. And then, like I mentioned, we just weren't able to capitalize on the next drive. But, this team has a next man up mentality. And I think there's a belief in one another, no matter what's going on out there, that we just got to play our game and make plays. And Michael did a great job of stepping in for us and making some huge plays for us.
Teresa?
Ryan, on the initial drive, the 4th and 1, what was your sign? And did you think that Derrick had the first down on that play?
It was tough for me to see from my angle, being behind the play. They got some quick penetration, and Derrick did as best as he could. But from where I was standing behind the play, it was tough to really see.
Jim?
Ron, you're 8-4, tied with the Colts, a quarter of the season to go. How important is it to just forget this one now and make sure you're get on track starting next Sunday?
Well, it's going to be huge. Obviously we can't forget it without taking a real look at why this game went the way it did, and evaluating that and making the corrections. And once we're able to do that, we'll put it to bed and get ready for the next one. So have to learn from this one, clean some things up. Obviously we didn't play well enough, and then come out, on Wednesday, the sense of urgency, carry that through until the kickoff on Sunday.
2 more. Drake.
Ryan, even going back to the end of the first half, when you kind of went into halftime with that fumble from AJ, especially after the couple of weeks he's had and the performances that he's had, is there something that you can tell him or that you can kind of get him back into the game? Is it kind of getting balls and targeting him more early in the second half, or how do you approach that sort of adversity?
Yeah, just telling AJ I believe in him. Obviously, some plays I think he'd like to have back, but he's made huge plays for us this whole year, the past 2 years, and he's going to continue to make big plays for us. So obviously, just have a couple things to clean up, but we believe in AJ, and AJ is going to continue to make plays for us.
Last one. Gentry.
Yeah, Ryan, last season you guys followed up the win in Indy by going to Oakland and winning pretty big. And there was a sense kind of then you guys were building and improving to what ended up happening. Do you still get that sense this year as well, in spite of what happened today, that this team is headed in that same trajectory?
Yeah, we've done some good things. Obviously, what you've done doesn't really matter. How you perform each and every Sunday, you have to go out and earn it and earn the win. So we'll see how this team responds. I believe in our guys. I believe in our leadership and our culture and the way we like to play. Now it's a matter of putting it to the test and making it happen.